How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcons Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2023 animated tragic comedy film, and that is Robot Dreams. This is directed by Pablo Berger, and in this film we follow a humanoid dog who lives in an apartment all by himself, and he's feeling really lonely, and he decides to get a robot friend of his own, and he gets really happy again. But when he loses that robot and he can't get him back, things start to get really lonely for him once again. But of course, he is determined to get that robot back. So that's pretty much the story of Robot Dreams. Now, I heard a lot of people were praising this movie, saying it was one of the best animated films to come out in 2023, and it was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, even though it technically did not win that award for being the best animated film of that year, because the winner for that category of the Academy Awards was, of course, The Boy and the Heron by Hayao Miyazaki, which I do love that movie. But I was still willing to give this one a shot, since a lot of people were talking about this movie, and I just couldn't stop hearing the amount of praises this film was receiving after it was released and all of that. And what I also didn't realize as well is that while this is a foreign animated film here, this film has no lines of dialogue whatsoever here. And we've had a fair amount of these animated films before. They have done that before in the past, like the Red Turtle and Shaun the Sheep movie, which I really enjoyed those movies. And I did check out this movie just a couple days ago on Amazon Prime at my home. And after watching this whole movie here, I gotta say here, guys, this movie really surprised me here. And I can definitely say this is definitely one of my favorite animated films of 2023 here. This was indeed a roller coaster ride of a movie here, filled with tear-jerking moments and moments that does tend to tug at your heartstrings as well here. I absolutely love the relationship between the dog and the robot in the movie, even though they have no names themselves whatsoever. And during the beginning of the movie, like after 20 minutes, it completely changes, because it goes from uplifting when we do see the dog being really happy again, to being very depressing when we do see the dog losing that robot and he's trying to get it back, even though nobody will let him get it back. And I found all that a really big shame, because I really wanted this dog to get his robot back. And throughout the majority of the film, we see him interacting with other strangers in the film, and they often treat him like crap, which I found all that really sad. And the movie also cuts back to the robot when we see him dreaming about wanting to go back, but throughout a lot of the time in the film, it doesn't end up happening because something different happens here. And while we don't see these two together that often in the film, we do see them wanting to get back to each other, but they end up interacting with different parts of the story here in dream form, which I thought all that was beautifully well captured here. And I also liked how the movie manages to be very clear here while having no lines of dialogue whatsoever, because when it comes to the emotions of the film, it just makes this whole film so perfectly clear here when it comes to that, when we do see the characters interacting with one thing with another in the film here. And I found all that just perfectly well captured here. And there are often times where the movie has an upbeat tone when it comes to its music, which I really love. But I also liked how it uses one of the songs in the film, which is September, and they use it in different ways, multiple times in different scenes. And I thought all that was beautifully well done here. And while, like I said, the film tends to be really depressing when it comes to that kind of tone in the film here, and I thought all that was really well done here, and yeah, it made me care for him so much. Made me care so much for what was going on in the film. But I also liked how the movie manages to still be really funny here when it comes to its humor in the film, because it is at times really funny here. And they even used one of the adult jokes in the film, which I did not expect when I was watching the film, because as I was watching it, I was just like, oh, okay, that was actually kind of funny here, especially for a film like this. And what can I say about the animation itself here? It is absolutely beautiful to look at here. And as I was watching the film, it just instantly made me feel like I was watching an old cartoon show that had no lines of dialogue of when I was a kid. It just made me feel like that all over again here as I was watching this thing. And I just loved how the movie manages to be really relatable here, because in this film, we all do feel loneliness in our lives, in which when we do get someone in our life and they take it away from us, we are determined to get the happiness back. And I found all that to be beautifully well captured here, and yet just deeply touching at the same time here. And yet I even did shed a tear as I was watching the film. I did cry a few times when it came to some of the deeply touching moments in this film here. And there's not even a single nitpick I can pick out with this movie here, other than this movie was just absolute perfection here. And as I said before, this is definitely another one of my favorite animated films to come out in 2023 here. And if you do want to check out this movie here, it is available to stream on any streaming service of your choice here. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Robot Dreams. I'm going to give Robot Dreams 5 out of 5. as I said before, this is definitely another one of my favorite animated films to come out in 2023 here. Although I wouldn't say this is like my number one favorite here, because for me it's still The Boy and the Heron for being my number one favorite. But I would put this one in a tie for number two alongside Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse here. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Robot Dreams, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already or just recently checked this out. Did you absolutely love this movie, or was this not your cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.